Well, g'day, Michael here. Today I'm going to do a bushcraft, firecraft video on the Kershaw 1883, and although it may not look like it, this can be used for firecraft. We're going to put it to the test anyway, because that's what we like to do. We like to put knives to the test, even though it might look to you like it's a hunting knife. Well, I can assure you that it's built tough. It's made of D2 steel, and well, let's just see how it goes, guys. Let's just check it out and put it to the test and see how it performs today in our bushcraft, firecraft, whatever you want to call it. This is the test for today. So the first thing I'm going to do is to baton through this wood. That should give it a nice test, and we'll see how this one performs. So let me just get my baton. Here we go. And we'll baton through this piece of wood, and I think it should do okay. I think it should do well. So let's just go with that test. For a start, yeah, I'm not sure where to start this, but I'll just pick a spot. Let's hope for the best. Alright, Kershaw, let's see what you've got. Yep, so far so good. Don't want to tap too much on the handle, but it's a little bit stuck. And let's see how we go with that. It's getting through, and wow, that certainly did a good job. And just looking at the edge right there, I can't see anything. It's looking pretty good. That edge is looking spot on. So that's tough D2 steel to get through something like that. That's doing a pretty good job. Let's just have a look, shall we, to test its sharp. Oh, no, we don't do that. Sorry, no, we don't do that. It's pretty good. I'm going to show you just how sharp this knife still is after batoning through all that. Let me just check over here and get a good piece of wood. So just to show you how good this edge is after all that batoning, let's just make a bit of a feather stick here. It's really good at the feathering too, as you can see. It's doing a great job, and that's how sharp this knife really is. Look how it's doing those curls. That is amazing. It's doing a great job. Not the best feather sticker in the world, but you can just see what a fine job that's doing on the feather stick. So still very sharp, and you can see that's doing really well. So let's go to the next part of the test, and let's see if we can do a few more feather sticks and see if we can start a fire. Yeah, alright. So one of the things we like to do when we're testing these knives out in the woods is to do a chopping test. Now this may not be a real good chopper, but that doesn't matter, because we're going to test this knife and see how it chops. So stick with me for a little while and we'll just see how we go. So here we go. I don't care if you don't like this test, but there's plenty of people that do like this test to see how these knives will chop into wood, and then we can have a look at the edge. So here we go. And yeah, it's biting pretty well. Not a bad chopper. So I'm quite impressed with this. It's doing a pretty good job. And just keep talking rubbish for a while, and just to keep you entertained. The handle feels good, and there's a fair bit of weight in this, and it's taken a good bite out of that wood. So I'm happy to keep doing this. And let me just check that edge. Yep, that's doing a pretty good job. So we'll just keep going with the test for just a little bit longer. Good thing about this test is we're actually making a bit of tinder, and we can use this tinder later on when we start our fire. So we'll just keep going with the chopping test until I can get through this piece of wood. So bear with me as we go through this, and I'll just check that again, that edge. Yeah, no, that's Kershaw's done a really good job of that. That is spot on. Nothing wrong with that edge. And in a moment I'll show you again with another feather test, just to show you how good that edge is going. We're just about through now, and oh, took a bit of work, but there we go. You can see what a clean cut that the Kershaw does on that. Really quite impressed with that edge. Let's do a test just to see how the D2 still has oh, sorry. Yeah, no, we don't do that. Let's, oh no, we'll show another feather stick just to show you how sharp this Kershaw blade is after all that chopping. And look at that, that's beautiful. Nice feather stick. And we need a couple more for our fire to get that going, because it is a Firecraft video. And look at that, beautiful and sharp. And yeah, I'm not the best at feather sticks, but Kershaw makes it so much easy. There we go, that's how sharp that Kershaw is going. And I think the dog's taken the limelight a little bit, but you know, that's alright, that's okay. So the next test that I would like to do is to test the spine of the knife to see if it's going to be good for Firecraft. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to be okay. So let's just check to see how that spine will perform, and to see if it's going to be okay for our Firecraft. So let's give it a go. Yep, hang on a sec, not quite. Well, it could be a little, oh there we go. So yep, it's definitely sharp enough to get a fire going. I'll just show you one more time just to prove that spine on there. Let's see, not quite. Oh, it could be a little bit sharper. There we go. Definitely sharp enough to get that fire going. So there you go. Spine is okay on the Kershaw. Next we're going to see if it can throw a spark, but before that we're just going to, we've got our feather sticks here, And I'm just going to get a couple more. We're going to prepare our fire, and then we're going to see how she throws the sparks onto the fire. So that's coming right up, so stay with me just while I get my feather sticks ready. And I want to show you just how good this Kershaw is. So we've got our feather sticks, and watch this. This is amazing for Firecraft. I can guarantee it. So, the Kershaw, and let's see how it, yeah, look at that. That is amazing preparation. That just goes straight through that box. And I love me some cardboard for fire preparation. Look at that. That is just crisp cut, beautiful, no worries there. Alright, that is just beautifully done. Kershaw is on to winner. So, let's just put that down there, and we'll just get our feather sticks ready in preparation. So we'll just set those feather sticks there. Should be good. A little bit there. And I really want to show you, so that's getting prepped up there. I really want to show you just how good this Kershaw is for Firecraft. Just watch the way this blade just glitters with the preparation we've got going. So it really is beautiful. The way it just glitters on that edge. Fantastic, look at that. Beautifully done. So easy. Kershaw. The next thing we want to do in this Firecraft video, guys, is to see how well it throws a spark. So I'm going to prepare this knife so that we can spark our tinder, and we're going to see how well it throws a spark. So it shouldn't be that difficult for us to do. It's quite hot here today, and we've had a lot of rain, so it's going to be tough to actually get that fire started because of how wet everything's been. But I'm going to do my best with those feather sticks that I've prepared and the log that we've cut up, thanks to Kershaw, which has done a brilliant job, absolutely brilliant job today. And I hope you like what you're seeing. If you do, you know, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and let's just see how the Kershaw, more tinder here, so a few little tinder sticks, very good Firecraft. Did you see the way it just shaved those tinder sticks? So let's get those tinder sticks prepared in there. And now we're going to see Kershaw throw some sparks. And let's get that fire going with this Kershaw. It's been brilliant so far for Firecraft. Let's see how we go. So far so good. That spine's been great. The edge has been great. We've tested it and it's really held up well. So I'm quite happy. And let's just see now how we go with the rest of this test. So hopefully you can see that. And let's throw the sparks and get this fire going, okay? Alright. And you can see, and we throw the sparks and whooshka. There we go. Brilliant for starting our fire. And look how those feather sticks have just taken off like that. Brilliant job Kershaw, and I nearly burnt myself then. Maybe just a touch too much. Brilliant for throwing sparks, brilliant for preparing tinder, for chopping through our branch so that we can get our fire going. Did that brilliantly, and it throws a good spark. And yep, you can see how wet everything is, and unfortunately it just hasn't taken off. So that's not Kershaw's fault. It's just how dry everything's been. So I'm going to I just want to take one more look at the edge. And yet, even after all that Firecraft, that edge is really quite good. Nothing wrong with it. Let's just test that to show you how good this Kershaw... Oh, yeah, you don't do that. Just hold on. Wait a sec. Let me just get that fire going again. And even the paper is a bit wet for it, but there, she's going strong now. So really well done, Kershaw. And just to show you one more time how good that blade is, let's just do one more feather stick. And look at that. Brilliant job. Just gliding into that wood as sharp as when I started. Well done, Kershaw. You may think this is a hunting knife, but no, it's far more. Look how it's prepared that fire. Brilliant job from Kershaw. Definitely get one. Take it out to the woods, start your fires, carve up your animals, your kangaroos, whatever. You know it is a sharp spine can do what you need it to do. So thank you very much for watching, and hope you have a lovely day. Bye bye for now.